Th3, Ivy, and Green Gale have a stare down. But why does Green Gale look so evil now? Th3 and Mila move closer to each other, but it's just to play rock, paper, scissors. Th3 wins, so they're going to his chosen spot. Ivy seems confused by the game between the two childhood friends. Inside the sweet shop, Tolto and Malma are eating desserts so quickly they need more. Th3 then asks why Ivy was invited. Tolto explains that Mila likes Ivy because he's a good kid, so they invited him along. Mila scolds her brothers for scaring her, then nervously laughs when she turns to Ivy. Sora, scared by their reactions, thinks these three are dangerous. Th3, ready to fight, says he'll show no mercy if they pick on Ivy, but the twins tell him to stop joking, as they don't want to fight Th3, who has powerful attacks. Tolto, though, wouldn't mind sparring to see who's stronger since Th3 has weak defense skills. Mila asks why fighters are always so rough, and Tolto responds that she wouldn't understand with her weak taming skills, which saddens her. Ivy stands up for Mila, saying her skill is great, and her rare slimes can even destroy weapons. Ivy explains that even things people see as useless can have value to someone, which cheers Mila up. Th3 agrees that being a tamer is a useful job, but Tolto thinks strength and flashy skills are better because they bring money. Malma adds that since their skills aren't interesting, they're better off as adventurers. This makes Ivy curious. Later, Th3 asks Ivy how they were. Ivy, misunderstanding, says Sora was scared, but Th3 meant the sweets, which Ivy loves. Th3 chose the restaurant Flawflo because it's safe, run by a trusted adventurer. Sadly, Green Gale are now traitors. Th3 recalls his childhood, remembering when the town was safe and children were praised for good behavior. Ivy remembers her hometown before things changed, where kids were always watched by adults. At the Adventurers Guild, Green Gale tried to invite Ivy to eat with them, but it seemed like a plot. Ivy's past self suggests that the true villains might be using Green Gale as scapegoats. Th3 is worried about losing his childhood friend. Ivy proposes letting herself be captured to trick the villains so they can catch them in the act. Though dangerous, Ivy insists it's safer to control the situation. Later, Ivy asks if there's a magic item to put enemies to sleep. Sazok mentions a sleep sphere that affects both friend and foe. Ivy rallies everyone, saying now is the time to strike. At the guild, Guildmaster Rogleaf tells adventurers their jobs is to protect Ivy to show the town is safe. Meanwhile, Captain Birksby is nervous about a criminal organization they've been fighting for years. But thanks to Ivy's plan, there's new hope. Shafale suggests gathering a team to deal with a monster lair, but Birksby is unsure, thinking the criminal organization might attack. They need to be careful, knowing some of their own men are traitors. As Ivy's plan moves forward, everyone prepares for the next steps, with Th3 determined to protect Ivy. In the sweet shop, Mila suggests Ivy try the danzu, known as the sweetest treat there. Th3 warns that it's so sweet, just one bite could make you faint. As Mr. Hag, the shop owner, prepares their 5 danzu, Ivy notices Sora trembling clearly. Hag is bad news. Ivy signals Th3 that it's time to start their plan. As their sweets are served, Th3 tells Green Gale he has a secret mission for them from the guild master. Since a special team is going to the forest, he asks them to help keep the town safe while they're gone. Tolto and Malma wonder why the town would be left unprotected, and Th3 explains it's because ogres, including an ogre king, have been spotted in a cave. Meanwhile, Mr. Hag is secretly lacing their sweets with drugs. When the food is served, Th3 signals Ivy not to eat. Then, Th3 turns to Green Gale and bluntly asks why they're working for the criminal organization. They gasp, and Mila tries to deny it. But when Th3 pushes their food toward them to taste, they refuse. Mila finally gives in, telling her brothers it's time to stop, but Malma refuses, accusing her of betrayal. Th3 reminds them they are the traitors, as they've betrayed the trust of their town. Tolto and Malma grab their weapons, ready to fight, but Th3 warns them he doesn't want to hurt them. Malma attacks anyway, but Th3 easily blocks his strikes, having trained himself in defense. This angers Tolto, who attacks next, but Th3, a better swordsman, knocks him back too. Ivy shouts a warning as Tolto strikes again, and Th3 burns him. The brothers try again, but Mila's slimes dissolve their weapons. Th3 knocks them out, and Mila, tired of their life of crime, apologizes to Ivy for deceiving her. Ivy and Th3 thank her for saving their lives. Soon after, Flawflo, the owner of the first sweet shop they visited, arrives. Ivy explains part of their plan to take down the criminal organization. Meanwhile, at the merchant base, masked adventurers attack, but it's clear both sides are corrupt. The traders try to move the hidden treasure, but they trip a sleep sphere, knocking out everyone. In the forest, Captain Birksby and Agrop are aware that traders are planning an ambush. Their attackers are caught off guard by Ivy's clever plan. Birksby and Agrop fight back, using electric nets to capture the traders. Sazilk and Barolda lead the adventurers to capture all the traders, thanks to Ivy's strategy. Later, Count Faltoria, a corrupt noble, is caught trying to escape with documents and money. But the guildmaster had already informed Lord Ferranda, who exposes Faltoria's evil deeds. Faltoria's punishment is now inevitable. The townspeople, furious over their children being taken and their town being unsafe, nearly riot. Birksby calms them down, explaining that the traders will face hard labor as punishment instead of being killed. Ivy is impressed by Birksby's ability to keep the crowd from violence. She expresses admiration for him, saying she hopes to be like him one day. Th3 and Shafale, though, tell her there's no need to give up her life for duty just yet. With the situation under control, Sazilk announces they still need information on the criminal organization's members. Barolda explains that people who refuse to cooperate will be suspected of being involved. Ivy, with Sora ready to assist, prepares for their next mission. In the guild hall, Birksby and Agrop thank Ivy for helping stop the evil organization that's been tormenting Otolva. Birksby gives her a report listing those arrested, revealing that 58 people, including some royals, are now wanted. So far, 45 have been detained. Ivy finds her reward, 150 ladle, 150,000 field mice, by her humorous math. Outside of town, Ivy and Sora check their traps but find nothing. Seal, their cat, helps by flushing out rodents into the traps. Ivy sells the meat to a butcher, who uses it for the town's celebration of their victory. At the feast, Barolda tells Ivy that Count Faltoria has confessed. While the bad guys are caught, the royal capital is in chaos. Ivy is still worried about Mila, who betrayed her brothers and now shows remorse in jail. She's being granted leniency for her cooperation. Rogleaf, the guild master, learns about Ivy and Sora's key role in uncovering the criminals, and asks Ivy if she'd consider staying in Otolva. He offers to prepare a house for her. This reminds Ivy of fortune teller Luba's advice. If she found a place she liked, she didn't need to keep traveling. Ivy then reveals a deeply personal secret to her friends. She is starless. She shares the painful story of being abandoned by her family and village for having no stars, and how she barely escaped death at age 8. Th3 and the others are moved, offering their support and reassuring her that they'll keep her secret if she wants. Th3 is especially emotional, commending her strength. However, Ivy decides not to stay in Otolva. She explains that her journey began because she was running away, fearing death if people learned she was starless. But meeting kind people like Captain Ogdo, Vice Captain Velavera, and her new friends gave her the courage to stop running. She's now proud to be starless and wants to continue her travels to help others. The group gives Ivy special magic bags as a farewell gift, which can carry more items with less weight. Birksby remarks that he researched disintegrating slimes like Sora and discovered they're so weak that only Ivy, with no stars, could have tamed one. Any stronger tamer would have accidentally destroyed Sora. Ivy feels grateful, believing Sora was meant to meet her. As Ivy, Sora, and Seal prepare to leave, the group tells her to return to Otolva anytime, calling it her home. Just before they depart, Seal surprises everyone by leaping out of the bushes, prompting Sheafel to comment that Ivy seems more powerful than any tamer with stars. With their farewells, Ivy sets off on her next adventure. In a post-credits scene, a young, disintegrating slime struggles to survive alone in the forest, watching other slimes die. But just before it's lost, Ivy finds and saves it, hinting at more adventures ahead. A beautiful ending. Ivy's journey of growth was emotional, and I hope to see more in a second season.